Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, October 16th, 2021. Welcome to Birth Moms Real Talk Saturday Chat. Our topic today is forgiveness to healing. Forgiveness to healing. First of all, thank you for those who are tuning into the podcast, who are sending me comments, who are sharing it, who are downloading it. We're over 2,500 downloads, close to 3,000. We're getting views on this chat, 8 to 10,000 last week. I think last week, time has flown. We had some birth moms on, and I want to tell you about all the exciting things going on. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Damon Davis. Who Am I Really podcast? Check it out. New episode launched today. He's an adoptee who shares his stories with adoptees, just like we share stories of birth moms. So tune in there. Other exciting things coming up. October 30th is actually Adoptee Observation Day. And we're going to have a special Saturday chat that day on October 30th, Saturday, October 30th. We want to bring on adoptees. So we're looking for adoptees for October 30th, Adoptees Remembrance Day. We want to have some adoptees on, along with our birth moms who had that podcast on. So all of you birth moms out there, be looking for your StreamYard link so you can come on there. We are doing things probably others are not doing, I haven't seen publicly. And I use that word publicly because there's been a lot of things in the shadows and the secrets and whatever. And as I've said, I'm first of all, I'm Dee Von Rivers, host of Birth Moms Real Talk podcast. We're uncovering so many of the things. We're going to talk about forgiveness to healing there, but we're looking for adoptees to be on the same Saturday chat in 2 weeks from today with birth moms. We want to be able to have that dialogue, because until there's dialogue and communication, nothing can move. And that's going to lead us to forwards in the forgiveness and healing. And also, we want adoptive moms, because during November, National Adoption Month, wow, the lineup is awesome. I myself will be in Florida for a birth moms retreat. I will be broadcasting or doing some things live there. We're going to have a podcast with myself as a birth mom, an adoptee, as well as an adoptive mom. Yes, we're going to have that triad conversation, completely open and public. I don't know whether it's been done before or not. We have different support groups, which of course private and confidential, but we want to do it live. It's going to be live on Facebook Live, Birth Moms Real Talk Live, as well as YouTube. We are taking this control completely public, because we want people to listen in like they've got the ear to a window, hearing things they may want to say themselves, they may want to hear themselves. So yes, we are looking for adoptive moms. So if you're interested, send your information to info@, Birth Moms Real Talk. We're going to be doing, let me put that up, info@, birthmomsrealtalk.com. So send your contact information. If you're an adoptee, you are an adoptive mom, we want you to be on a Saturday chat with us, or possibly a podcast. Only when we can have that connection and conversations with self. And I like to say conversations with self. And that sort of leads to, I think I shared the last time I was on, that I consider my son's birthday my Mother's Day. And I had the awesome experience. I went away to the water. I used to live in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Beach, Virginia, and I had a place right beside the water for 3 days. I think I extended a day. I don't know how long I was there. I extended a day. It was like, I need more. And it was so healing, so impactful, because a lot of thinking, a lot of sharing, a lot of tears of joy, sadness. I go back to his birth. That's where I go back to. I don't know what other birth moms go back to. I go back to that. And in talking about for is where was I in mindset and so forth. How can I heal? And I've been on this healing path for 48 years, and it's still going on. It's a lifelong thing because that's what adoption is, lifelong. And until we can really talk about that and realize that we something we have to deal with step by step, day by day, month by month, year by year. And it's with that healing and that conversation that you can have with other birth moms in the tribe, in the village. And we do want you, please, please, please do join the Birth Moms Village, because the Birth Moms Village, we're going to have our first virtual gathering with the people who've joined our village, which will be a private Facebook page as group, and we'll have healing sessions. It's nothing like it. Nothing like it. And for those of you who've been listening in since we launched in June 26th of this year, you know I'm real. You know I'm real. You know I talk about the real talk. That's what it's all about. We're going to go where other people are not going. I'm unapologetically will go and provide all the healing that's necessary. And one of the first steps to me is forgiveness. You may ask yourself who you need to ask for forgiveness or to forgive. Well, that varies depending on your life, depending on your story, depending on your journey. As you've heard, if you've heard my story, you've heard that I did forgive my parents or family who were not there for me in order to keep my son. My love was there. And I'll bring up something, and we're going to talk more about forgiveness. With that is, let me take this now. With our children, what they needed from us, we may not have been able to give to them then. That does not really dismantle the pain and trauma. In some of the Facebook groups or people in contact, that people and we as birth moms may wonder, well, why may our children may not be able to? Emotion sometimes is so hard on both our sides. Let me just really be transparent. It's hard for me as much as I want to talk and have conversations. When I do, it's emotionally hard because that's where it's so deep. And I truly believe now, as I say, let me just put this disclaimer now. I'm not a psychologist. I got letters behind my name, but it's not LCSW or PhD in psychology and whatever. It's 48 years of experience, okay? I truly believe the reason why a lot of times that adoptees have a problem in communicating, or it's so hard, and I'll say this again to birth moms, because with adoptees, they have that pre-verbal trauma. Now, those of you professionals out there, you may can justify, dismantle, or whatever. This is my belief, that they have that pre-verbal trauma, that their voices have been silenced. Their voices, that they may want to say something, it just has been silenced. From the very beginning, that trauma, before they could talk. Then in going into their family, and living in the path they are based on what the surroundings they are around. So forgiveness plays a part. Forgiveness of self. I'm talking to birth moms out there. Have you forgiven yourself for whatever you may be holding yourself under? And I ask that question, and I make that statement because so many times when I'm interviewing a birth mom on this podcast, I may hear a statement, well, I didn't deserve, or people didn't think I deserved to be a mother, and I bought into what they said. And I can honestly understand that. Again, forgiveness of self. Forgiveness of whoever was around you that you thought was your support, but they were not there for you for whatever reason. For whatever reason. People do what they're capable of doing. And until they learn better, they cannot do better. So this is a point of helping, and this podcast and the Birth Moms Village is to help all of us do better, to become the very best that we can be. So you forgive yourself, you forgive your family, your support system. And I'm asking, I come out very boldly and saying, I forgive my son. I ask my son for forgiveness for not being able to be there as his mother when he was born. He had no control over that. So I asked him for his forgiveness to allow me to forgive me because I wasn't ready or able. I was ready, wanted to, but wasn't able. And again, in reference to my story, when the opportunity very shortly afterwards, did I want it back? Yes, I wish I could, but I couldn't. And that's real. That's real talk we're talking here. So forgiveness is a step to healing. Because when you hold yourself harmful, not harmless, that you will just take all this in and that will seep into your energy, your spirit, your character, and all of that. So forgiveness to healing. Back again to what's upcoming. Next week, October 23rd, we'll have our birth moms on again and talking about their experiences. Amy's story is up. Listen to that. We'll launch a new one next week, Rosalie. You'll hear her story. Everyone's different, but they're still the same in different aspects. So continue to listen to that. So as I say, October 23rd, we'll have other birth moms who have been, if you've told your story, you're welcome to come on live. Understanding everybody doesn't want to be face to face or whatever. So that's all up to you with that. Then on October 30th, we're going to invite our birth moms back and we want some adoptees. So please, now I know you're adoptees. I know you're listening. I know you're tuning in because you've written me letters. You've written me letters because you said you're tuning in, you got your ear to the glass, listening into the podcast, wanting to know the birth mom's perspective. Well, come on if you can. Some of you have reached out personally. I will be reaching out to you this week for October 30th. For those who have not, please send me comments or post comments on the podcast website, birthmomsrealtalk.com. Give us some ratings there. And please join the village. This is a way to support this. I've got so many comments and whatever saying you're loving this and so forth. Help us keep this going. Because quite frankly, let me just be completely transparent. This is me. I do not have a corporation behind me other than my own corporation. And this is completely funded out of my pocketbook. My pocketbook. I got grace and I got mercy. But we want and we need your help to support us. Send us a donation just overall or just join the village, because not only you're giving a donation with go join the village, you're getting so much more. So if you like what you're saying, you want to continue with us, please support with that. And again, now November is National Adoption Month. So I just said, first weekend I'll be in Florida in a Birth Moms Retreat. We'll have some new stories, new podcasts. We'll launch that first Saturday in November. We will do a podcast with Damon Davis as an adoptee, myself as birth mom, and we'll have an adoptive mom. So if one of you adoptive moms, you want to be on the podcast, send us your information. Then, and that topic of that would be what adoptees want birth moms and adoptive moms to know. It would be adoptive moms telling us what they want adoptees and birth mothers to know. We're going to get the real deal from each other and have a conversation and dialogue. I don't know whether it's been done before. Maybe it's not been done within your particular triad, but we want to get this done. Another episode, we're just going to have adoptees and birth moms. We have a special episode. It's 2 parts. We have a mother and a daughter on a podcast together. There's nothing like transparency. There's nothing like communication. And when you have that honest communication, I will tell you, it's healing for the soul. It's healing for the soul. So forgiveness, think about it. Have you forgiven yourself? Have you forgiven others? I'm not telling you this, but I know I've asked my son to forgive me for not being there for him. That was a situation at the time, but it doesn't dissuade for the fact that I wasn't there or able to raise him. Now, that was some real talk I did with myself, have been doing with myself, and did a lot of it this week. And that's the reality of it. I've heard adoptees be confused about and saying, well, their birth mom said, I love you. It's because of love. Yes, it's through love. But at the same time, they also recognize is the fact of the feeling of abandonment. That if my first parents didn't want me, or maybe thinking they didn't want me, And that's not the case. But yet and still, that's the feeling. Your reality is where you are and what you feel. And that we have to face. So I'm only for a short time today, but I just want to come on and just share with you. Forgiveness is the first step to healing. Acknowledgement. Uh, get, get, get rid of the denial and what you're feeling. If you feel the tears, if you feel whatever it is, it's yours. Own it. Own it. Do your work. Do your work in your therapy. Do your work in your support group. Do your work in gathering connections together. That's a big part why this Birth Moms Village is going to work. And what you see me bringing to you are things that not only I know I need, but I've heard from so many other birth moms that they need also. Don't dissuade from that. Don't separate your side aside from that. Join the community and the village to have some birth moms buddies that you can talk to. Other people don't understand. That's just a reality. Other people just can't understand and walk in your shoes unless they've been in your shoes. So I wanted to just share that today. Forgiveness leads to healing. No timetable, can't tell you when it's going to happen, but I can tell you what I've done. And that's all I can do. I'm not telling anyone what to do, but what steps I'm taking towards my healing. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. And I'm just looking forward to life and becoming the best mom, best daughter, sister, person that I can be. And I get better and better, and people will say gooder and gooder each and every day. So tune in next week. You're going to hear Birth Moms Real Talk. Yes, moms on there on October 30th. We're going to celebrate National Adoptees Observation Day on October 30th. We will have adoptees on with birth moms, just a whole conversation. I don't know how many I can get. I think I can get up to 20. So limited seats. So send it to me now that you like to participate in that. And just stay tuned for November. We're bringing this to you. With a National Adoption Month, some special episodes. We're ending up the year. We're going to be talking about how you deal with these holidays. And again, I had my Mother's Day this week, and I had a happy Mother's Day. Stay tuned. See you next week.